So I'm going to go ahead and draw the next section, which is our section where we're actually going to type in what we want to write that day in our diary application. Again, I'm going to go straight to the text in the top left-hand side. I'm going to click on the canvas and I'm just going to make up a date of Monday, 25th of November. Now the text size for this needs to come up because it's a heading. So I'm going to go straight over into this text panel on the right hand side and I'm going to bump that up. I'm using the up arrow on my keyboard to do this. I'm going to bump that up to around 32, which seems about right. Again, as this is a digital wireframe, you don't have to get everything perfect. I then want some lines underneath which are going to signify where I want someone to start typing. I'm going to use the shape panel in the top left hand corner for this. Within this panel you'll see it has L. You can use the shortcut for that or just simply click on it. I'm holding down the shift key to create a perfectly straight line, and that's just clicking and dragging onto your canvas. So I'm going to create just some simple lines, maybe 4 or 5 of these, to signify that that's where I want someone to start typing for the first thought of their diary application. I'm going to copy this by clicking on the section on the line itself, and I'm clicking Command-C and Command-V to duplicate these. You'll see in this left-hand panel it duplicates, so we have line and line sitting there. I'm simply going to nudge this down. I'm using the shift key and my down arrows to do this. So again, I want to duplicate this again, so I'm clicking Command-C and Command-V to duplicate, and you can do this as much as you want. Sketch has this lovely thing that pops up over the top as you're seeing here, which is 64 and 64. What that's telling you is it's perfectly spaced 64 pixels between each of these elements, which is really nice for laying out. If you, again, have been used to Photoshop, then this is a bit of a dream. So I want to line that up nicely. You'll see that on the left-hand side, a line is popping up. So I roughly want to get that centre. And I want to add a piece of text on top that's going to say, this is where I want someone to start typing. I'm going to make this smaller and slightly transparent so that it's not competing with that top title bar. So this really is just where small decisions about the UX are also done, which is why I find it easier to do cleaner wireframes than anything else that I've used in the past. So I'm just going to write what happened today, question mark. I'm going to take the size of that down. Again, I'm doing Command-A to select all of the text. I'm going over here to this text panel, and I'm just going to take the size of that down to around 26 pixels. I'm going to align that on top of that first line, and I'm going to change the colour to something slightly more transparent so that it's not competing with that header. Because when someone types in, what I want this to do is disappear and what they're actually typing to go over the top of it. Okay, I want people to be able to add a photo of their choice into the app. I want to signify this by adding a circle and then having an icon on top of it, which shows that there's something tappable within it. I'm going to go ahead and use the shape panel, top left. I'm going to use the oval. I'm holding down the shift key while I drag this to get a perfect circle. We don't have to worry too much about the size of this as it's our lovely digital wireframe. I'm going to go ahead and remove the border on this and just nudge it to where I'd like this circle to sit. So that's roughly in alignment with that. I'm going to put another oval on top of it just to signify that there will be an icon inside of this. Again, I'm doing this to remove any graphical elements that sit within the app. I really don't want people to get too heavy on what the icons are within everything. I want them to look at the placement of this and sign off placement rather than the graphical side right now. As I said earlier, depending on who your client is or how you're using these, you might want to use icons, but personally, most of the time I will use dots and then explain what the icon is or what icons I think could be put forward for each of these. I then want to add location. So if someone is somewhere interesting and they want to automatically use the geolocation facility to add their location, I just want a label that says add location that's actually a form of button. So we're going to have an icon that sits with this itself. So I'm going to just pop this slightly underneath these, and I'm going to copy and paste this small circle out into that. So just copy and paste into there to signify that there will be an icon there that will signify add location. I also want a character limiter. The idea of this app is that it's a short burst diary app. It's not something that I envision people writing reams and reams of text within. So I'd like something that limits the characters or shows how many characters you've got left, much like something that you would write in for Twitter. So I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste this small title, and I'm going to use it on the opposite side. I'm going to change this text to 0 out of 200 and just align it with the right-hand side of this little piece of UI that we've done. The third thing that I want to do is add in some sections that say how your day has gone. So I want to add in whether you've had a bad, an average, or a really good day, something that you could just use. So these are buttons and will be in different colours. So I'm going to go ahead and create a large panel at the bottom of this tappable section. I'm going to remove the border, and I'm going to add in these icons again. So we need 3 icons that say bad, average and good at the bottom here. I'm going to split this right now by adding a small line between each of these sections just to signify that they are different buttons when we come to it. So I'm just using the shape again. I'm just creating some lines in between. Again, they don't have to be perfect. It's just a digital wireframe. I'm just going to nudge these over to get roughly 3 sections. And I'm just going to take the text that we've created, again, copy and paste it in. Now you'll see what happens here is it's going behind because the text that's being pasted in has gone underneath this layer. If this happens to you, all you need to do is go to this left-hand panel, and this is all in the order that you see something. So if something suddenly disappears, all you need to do is drag it and take it to the top, and you'll see that it pops back up on top of the other layers. Much like you use in Photoshop with layers, this still has layers, it's just that you use them in a slightly different way. I'm going to go ahead and copy that and just say average. Same thing, copy paste. Good, and copy paste. Bad. Again, we're going to have icons associated with these because they are in action. So I'm copying this small little round. Again, it's gone behind because the previous layer that we copied from was behind. So we just drag that up to the top. We just nudge it roughly where we're going to have it. And we copy and paste 2 more of those out to signify that we're going to use icons there. So that ends the first section of this digital wireframe video. What we've done is the first panel that actually drops down when someone goes to type inside our app. We've just got a few more things to add, which we want to show in the digital wireframe what other content would look like once we've actually added in our thought for that day.